the urban coop tour is all about finding about urban chickens. So it's a little bit different from big flocks of chickens out on a farm. These are micro flocks that are actually living in the city. So it's part of the whole movement of being more concerned about where our food comes from, trying to get back to taking control of food systems, and probably most importantly just having fun. Chickens are just fun to have around.
I had my first fresh egg in Atlanta, but I went and purchased fresh eggs for the very first time up in Asheville, North Carolina. There's a small little, I guess it was a shop that sold folk art and also sold fresh milk and fresh eggs. So I'm a big cook. I love cooking, and I decided, oh, I'll just get some fresh eggs, bring them home, and cook a nice little brunch for some friends. And I had no idea how delicious they were or were going to be when I bought them. It was just a fun thing that I purchased while out of town, and it ended up that I was just amazed with the flavor, the taste. It was just, I fell in love with it, and I was just immediately sad that I didn't have access to those fresh eggs. I couldn't go up to Asheville every time I needed to go get fresh eggs. So in combination with the food element of it, and also the fact that it was a childhood desire to have chickens in our backyard in Atlanta, I've just finally made that dream come true, I guess.
For me, like, I've been a gardener. I've enjoyed gardening. I actually moved my old garden here first. That's what started me. Friends of mine were moving to Vermont, I want to say, and they're like, hey, I've got 8 chickens. And I was like, sure, I'll build a run, and totally brought them over. That was the start. All those girls were over a year and a half old, and then a few more people contacted me from other flocks, and I've definitely have mixed over 4 flocks. And then somebody said, hey, some goats need a home, and it was in LJ, and their house caught on fire, and I brought them home, brought them down. So, and then turning basically the old stuff dirt over and making a garden this year. See how it goes.
I think there's a lot in the past, 50 years at least, where we've just really gotten far away from our relationship to the earth and from where our food comes from. And that's been a big trend in the past 10 years at least, where people are starting to become more aware and conscious of these things. It's just easy to have whatever food you want anytime you want. And you don't really think about the process that got it to your mouth. and being a part of that, even just a little bit, like working in a community garden or having a couple chickens, you realize that there's a lot of input and a lot of care that goes into getting all these things that we just take for granted. And then you also realize that there's a relationship to be honored here. Your relationship with your chickens, they only give you 1 egg a day if you're lucky. There's times of the year they don't give you any eggs. And so to have eggs all the time, all the year round, takes a lot of work for a lot of chickens and a lot of people. And so it just kind of brings it home that a lot of these things are just things to be respectful of. And then you get to have a great relationship with another animal too.
I've always loved animals, and I think that no matter what kind of day a person has had, if you're around animals, it changes everything because they live so in the moment, and that's a very different mentality than most of us live day to day. And so all this makes me really happy. And so I come home to a potbelly pig and 10,000 bees and 7 chickens and a little dog and a garden. And so it makes me feel like I'm home back where I'm from, but in a way that I've created my own space as well.